Good evening, everyone. Welcome to North Penn High School and to the 2018 Montgomery County Honors String Orchestra Festival. My name is Erica Milhorn. I'm the orchestra director here at the high school. And on behalf of myself and the other directors here, I just want to welcome you to the concert this evening. And I would like to start by introducing my principal, Mr. Pete Nicholson.
Thank you and good evening, everyone. I want to welcome everyone tonight to North Penn High School. I'm glad everyone made it and braved the weather to come out here. I am sure you will be pleased with the performers in front of you tonight. I've had the opportunity to hear them rehearse a few times over the last week or two, and I think everyone's in for a great treat tonight. As the parent of an almost 8-year-old that's been taking violin lessons, for the past 2 years, I have a little bit of a taste for what it is to be dedicated to an instrument such as this, and to be a parent or a family member of someone that is dedicated to an instrument such as this. So I want to thank all of you for your hard work, for your dedication, and being behind these student musicians that are up here tonight. And I just, again, want to welcome everyone. I think we're all in for a great treat this evening, and you're here to see them. So that's the end of my remarks. Have a great evening.
Thank you very much. So this year it was my turn to host this festival, and I couldn't have thought of a better person to invite to work with the students this year. His biography certainly speaks for itself, so I won't read the program to you. You can read that on your own. But Dr. Timothy Schwartz is here. He has worked with the kids since about the middle of September, several rehearsals, and chose a very challenging but diversified program, and I think they're enjoying it, and I know we've enjoyed watching them work with him, and he's a fantastic person and great conductor, so we hope you enjoy the concert, and without any further ado, I would like to introduce Dr. Timothy Schwartz.
Hello. Hi, I am Timothy Schwartz. I'm the proud conductor of this wonderful, wonderful group behind me. It has been such a pleasure to be here multiple times over the last about 6 weeks. This is a really, really difficult program they have put together, and it's really been just a wonderful way to spend several afternoons and mornings with all these great kids. And a huge thank you to Erica Milborn and to all the people that worked on this. This is a lot of work to get all this together. I have done it myself. I know this takes, well, like years and years of planning. Just a little bit about some of the pieces you've heard and that you're going to hear. Mendelssohn, I'm sure, is a name you all know. What you might not know is he was really one of the great child prodigies. He wrote that piece when he was about the age of the people behind me, which is really something. I certainly couldn't have done that at 15 or 16. He was really, really an amazing child wonder. He wrote many, many, many pieces that are standard repertoire, all before the age of 18, which is extraordinary. The piece you just heard, William Grant Still, you might not know that name. He's often called the Dean of African American Music. He was born in Mississippi and raised in Arkansas, late 1800s, early 1900s. And as you can imagine, a brilliant and talented African American in Mississippi in the late 1800s, it was difficult. It was not easy. A lot of people saw his talent. He eventually went to Oberlin, one of the only places that accepted African Americans at that time. And then he went to Boston with Boston Conservatory. He was actually mainly an oboe player, although he did also play violin and piano a bit. And he did a lot of Broadway shows, things of that sort. And the piece that you just heard, called Mother and Child, is actually based on a crown drawing by Sergeant Claude Johnson of a mother holding her child. It's from a violin and piano suite, and each movement's very, very different and based on different sculptures and different pieces. So just a really, really beautiful piece. If you don't know William Grant Still, just an amazing composer. He was one of the first composers African American composers to conduct a major orchestra, the LA Philharmonic, back in the 30s. He also was the first African American to write a symphony that was played by a major orchestra, the Afro-American Symphony, which is just a great piece. The next piece that you're about to hear is very, very, very different. This is by Jessie Montgomery, who is rare for classical musicians in that she is a woman, she is African American, she's alive. So those are all very rare things for us. But it's just a great piece. She's a very young woman. She's just in her 30s. She won the Sphinx competition, which is a really huge competition for people of minority descent, and amazing violinist in the Catalyst Quartet. And she actually wrote this as a string quartet for that group. So you're going to hear this as a very different type of piece. So if you Google this on YouTube, they've made a video. Her quartet has made a video of them. It looks like kind of like a Jersey Shore boardwalk sort of day, and they're just having this really kind of fun but exciting time at the beach on the boardwalk. You see them on the rise. The sun goes down. Then the lights come up with the Ferris wheels and stuff like that at night. And unlike the Mendelssohn and even the Still, the meters are changing constantly in this, and the tempos are changing constantly. And you're gonna hear a lot of pizzicato and a lot of what she calls just texture. So there are melodies, of course, but the real energy of this is just the different sort of texture things that come together, which is just brilliant. It's just a really, really brilliant piece. I think it's a fantastic piece, and I really hope you enjoy it. The last piece is a fantastic fanfare. It has basically 3 different orchestras, so you can see everybody kind of rearrange a bit. It's a great piece, and I hope you enjoy it. So please enjoy the Jessie Montgomery Strum.
So as the students are returning to their seats, I wanted to take a moment to just say a few thank yous myself. Obviously, first I want to say thank you to my fellow directors who have helped to prepare the students for this festival, and they're really great friends as well as colleagues of mine. So thank you to all of you, and again, another big thank you to Tim for all of his work. He's really been great to work with, and just a very energetic and insightful person, and somebody that I hope to be able to call friend for many years now. And I want to also say thank you to all of the students on stage for your hard work. You guys have been really great. Parents, you should be really proud of your children. They're mannerly and they're musical, as you can tell. They're all really just great human beings, and there's not enough of this being said in the news or shown in the news. So can we just give another big round of applause to the students? If I don't say this part, I probably will come back on Wednesday to like ugly things in my mailbox, but thank you to my North Penn students for breaking down and setting up this stage probably 150 times in the last 8 weeks. Every time I ask them to move things, they do it, and they don't grow too much most of the time. But thank you to my North Penn kids for your help, and without any further comment from me, because that's enough, I want to introduce Mrs. Virginia Herman. She's the orchestra director at Upper Dublin High School for a few remarks of her own.
It is no easy feat to be a host for one of these events. Every year, you're amazed at the talent that comes out. This is not an auditioned ensemble. This is purely the students express a desire and make the commitment and have our recommendation to be part of the group. And then we have graciously each take our turn hosting, and Erica has done a marvelous job putting this together. It's been quite an interesting program. As you can see, very special logistics for us, and on behalf of our directors and schools, we're presenting a little token of appreciation to Ms. Milward for hosting this event. And of course, you wouldn't be enjoying this amazing music if we did not have the marvelous talents of Dr. Timothy Schwartz working with our students. I have to say, this is probably most of the diversified program we've had in a very long time. You've had a little bit of everything this evening, and wait till you hear the final grouping. If you haven't noticed, there really are 3 orchestras on the stage. And maybe Dr. Tim would like to tell us more about that, but we also have a little appreciation thank you for him too. And I really appreciate what a great concert this has been for us and our students, and such a wonderful musical event for them and learning. So thank you. All right, thank you. And now some words from our conductor.
So thank you again for all of the parents, which I know is basically all of you. I know I had a mother who actually grew up in Abington, so a lot of the kids here went to my high school, or going to my high school. And I know my mom drove me to Philadelphia for theory and for lessons and everything. And it was, of course, when I'm 12, I don't think much about that, but at the age of 50, am very appreciative that she did, and I thank you for having done exactly the same thing for your kids. This last piece, like I said, it's a really fun piece. It has 3 really distinct orchestras, and it was written for a high school with a really fantastic string program, and they used basically their fight song, which you're going to hear is this bum, 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 bum. So that's sort of the main melody that you'll hear, not at the very beginning, but a little bit into it, and then he does all these really great things around it. It's a really, really fun piece. Hope you enjoy it, and thank you again for coming.